The beauty about the playing games is about how they will never be this good again. LeBron hit like the shot of the year, and Josh Clutch Gene was amazing. But nothing ever like this gonna happen again. The 7 and 8 seed will play next year for a play-in spot, but LeBron and Lakers won't be a 7 seed again. Shit, they might just win a championship this season. The Warriors will never be an 8 seed again. Once Klay comes back, they're a top 5 seed lock. And Ja Morant's Grizzlies, I think, can take the 6 seed over the Blazers next year. And that's just in my opinion. Not that the Blazers aren't talented enough. They have the second best point guard in the league, but their management and coaching is terrible. But let's get straight into the playoffs, man. Them 2 playing games were amazing. Y'all should have enjoyed them. All right, so let's get into the first round. The Jazz versus Memphis Grizzlies. This is going to be the Jazz in 4. Yeah, the Jazz haven't been an immaculate playoff team since they've, for the past couple years. But it's the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies haven't made the playoffs since Mike Conley and Marc Gasol were a thing. It's a simple beatdown. Ja Morant is a great slashing playmaker, but he's no match to Rudy Gobert. Now the LA Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. Now within the past 7 hours, my perception on this series has changed a lot. I just saw the Mavericks beat the Clippers, and I feel like they can do it 3 more times and beat them in 7. Is this crazy? Is this kind of out of pocket? Yeah, I just feel like the Clippers have gained that tendency to just be consistently inconsistent in the postseason. Now the pros about the Clippers, they have great wing defenders, but the con about them is that they are very reliant on a 3-point shot, and it kind of went flat today. They've been shooting 40% from 3 this season, but today they shot around 25% from 3, and it went flat. And if they keep with that same scheme, I can't see them winning every single game. Now the Mavericks, really their only pro is Luka Doncic, and sometimes you'll get some good streaky shooting games out of Tim Hardaway Jr. But I feel like it can be enough. Am I crazy for that? Now the next series, Denver versus Portland. Now I'm not gonna say how many games, because them Portland fans, they be running through the streets, man. They always want a piece of your neck. But look, man, I feel like Denver takes this series. I have no idea how the Portland Trailblazers are gonna stop Nikola Jokic, and I feel like the Nuggets can limit Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum enough to where they can't take 4 games off of them. I think the Nuggets will win in 5, but I feel like the Nuggets will win this series, whether it be in 5 games or 7 games. Now the last first round series in the West, the Phoenix Suns against the LA Lakers. Man, I feel bad for Suns fans. They had an amazing season. Chris Paul at one point was looked at as an MVP candidate by Kendrick Perkins, so that didn't mean much. But Chris Paul's had an amazing season. Devin Booker's had an amazing season. DeAndre Ayton's been improving near the end of the season. But damn, man, I'm sorry, y'all. It's the LA Lakers. To me, a healthy Lakers team is a championship team. I see the Lakers beating them in as little games as 5. Now, that might be crazy, too. You do have Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They've been clutch. We don't know about Devin Booker in the playoffs yet, but I feel like he'll still be great. I'm just saying, man, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I can't count them out. Also considering that Anthony Davis did kind of go off against them last time they met, and that was without LeBron James. Now for the West semifinals, Jazz will be going against the Dallas Mavericks, and I think Utah is in 6. I think they just have the more complete team, more talented team. I think with Donovan Mitchell, they're not losing this series at all, even though Luka Doncic is a wizard. And then in the West semifinals, the Denver Nuggets versus the LA Lakers. I see the Lakers taking this in 6. The Nuggets, we will feel the pain of Jamal Murray not being here. It sucks that he got hurt, but we're still a very complete team. I think we can give them a run for their money. I think that we can take them to 6 games this year. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like the Lakers will win that in 6 though. But now for the Western Conference Finals, the Utah Jazz versus the LA Lakers. Depth, it doesn't win in the playoffs. And, the Lakers have the 2 best players out of both teams combined, and it's not close. LeBron James is so much better than Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert, and same thing with Anthony Davis. I can see the LA Lakers taking this in 5 games. That means the Lakers in the finals. Let's go to the East now. Up top, 76ers versus Wizards. Do I need to say anything? It's the 76ers in 4. They going to sweep them. And I don't see the Washington Wizards getting one chance at winning a game unless Russell Westbrook has one of his classic 35-point triple-doubles. The next one in the East, which might be the most, besides the Bucks and the Heat, this might be the most entertaining first-round series in the East. And this is the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. I see the Knicks winning in 6. And Atlanta Hawks are good at many things, but they're not great at one thing. The Knicks are great at defense, and I feel like Julius Randle has had a better season than Trae Young. Is that crazy? Yeah, that might be crazy. But I feel like he's had a better season than Trae Young. And yeah, Clint Capella might make that tough on Julius Randle. I can see it going either way though. Now for the 3-6 matchup in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks against the Miami Heat. This is tough, man. I'm a Miami Heat fan. I saw that game earlier today. It was brutal for both teams. Both teams weren't hitting shots. It was a gritty ass, grinded out game. And the Bucks really won by the skin of their teeth. You know, it was a tough shot that Middleton hit. And Giannis didn't come out that great. I mean, he shot 37% from the field, less than 50% from the free throw line. Jimmy Butler was the same though. He shot like shit. And I feel like it's Giannis versus Jimmy, and they're actually playing defense on each other. They can't score on each other at all. So I think it's coming down to the rest of the roster. I think the Bucks do have the better side of the rest of the roster this year. And I feel like the Bucks will win in 7. I don't want them to. Shit, I'm a Miami Heat fan. But I do feel like they will win in 7. Now the last East matchup, the 2 versus 7. The Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. I'm going to need a Jason Tatum masterclass to make this series interesting. Because I feel like right now it's a sweep. If Jason Tatum doesn't come out averaging 35 at least on this series, I don't think the Boston Celtics have a chance at winning one game. And it's sad. But the Nets at full power, yeah, they're a scary team. But let's get to the semifinals. Philly versus the New York Knicks. Now, Philly, I feel like they can just beat down the New York Knicks in 5. Even though New York has some good defenders. I mean, Philly has Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid has been better by a country mile than anybody on that New York Knicks roster. And yeah, I feel like Ben Simmons can harass Julius Randle. And Joel can just be a big rim protector in the paint. I don't see the Knicks doing much in this series. And it's tough. But I say that the Sixers in 5 over the Knicks. Now the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets. This is the one series that I do not think talent will win. I think it'll be grittiness and the power of Giannis that will win this series. Now, is that crazy? Yeah, it probably is crazy. Everybody has the Nets winning the championship. But yeah, I feel like Giannis can just overpower this series. And I think it will be a 7-game series. But I think the Bucks will come out on top. The Nets, I feel like their defense is just a little too bad. When you think of bad defenses that won the championship, you can think of the Lakers. But then in the postseason, they went from like the 22nd best defense to the best defense in the postseason. That's just simply a switch that the Nets can't hit right now. I feel like they're 1 year removed from a championship. But this is just not the year that they will win a championship. Now in the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. I think this one goes 7-2. And I think the Bucks will win. I think they just have a better flowing offense. The Sixers offense to me is Joel Embiid. And that's it. You get Joel Embiid dropping like 30 and 15 tonight, but I feel like that's it. And Giannis has been a great defender on Joel Embiid earlier in his career, albeit those were like not playoff games, but still, I feel like Giannis will be strong enough and good enough. Also, Lopez is a great rim protector. They're going to have some trees in there in the paint for Joel Embiid, and Ben Simmons ain't helping you out because he ain't spacing the floor. Man, I just feel like the Bucks are going to win this series. Maybe it's 7, maybe it's 5. I can see it going either way. But I feel like they have a better flowing offense, and they have the best player, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I feel like Jrue Holiday has had a better season than Ben Simmons. Take that for what you will. But yeah, I feel like the Bucks winning that series, and they going to the finals. Now, that can be a stretch because the Bucks might not even make it out the first round. But in the NBA Finals, we have the LA Lakers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. I see the Lakers taking this, and it's close to 5 games or 6. The Lakers, as long as they're healthy, I think they can make quick work of the Bucks. Budenholzer is a great regular season coach. I don't think he's enough to win a championship. And, you know, Jrue Holiday is going to harass LeBron. Yeah, that's cool, but in the end of the day, it's LeBron James. Nobody stops him in the finals. You know, 2011 was an exception because mentally LeBron stopped himself. But, yeah, I feel like the Lakers might win the championship this year, and I'm pretty confident about it. You know, ever since they got that 7th seed, it looks like a much easier route to the finals. And, yeah, I think they will be the champion. Hey, but let me know your thoughts on the video. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like and drop in the comments who you think is winning the finals. And, yeah, thank you for watching.